I'm here. If you're here, I'm here. Sorry, I got stuck on a call with my uncle from Florida, and I had to talk to him for a bit. He's up in age, and so I just had to kind of push everything aside and talk to him. Um, but he's doing well, and I'm glad to hear from him. But I am ready to get started. So I will give everybody a few minutes to come in. And I'm here. If you're here, I'm here. Let me see. Turn that down. I'll just give everybody a few minutes to get in. Shalom, family. No, don't be worried. He got on a roll talking, and I just couldn't hang up. I try to talk to my uncle often, but it can be difficult at times. And this is a very difficult time for them too, And I am concerned about him because he's up in age, he's in his 70s, and he has pre-existing conditions. And then you got this corona, you got CV, and that can be deadly to a person with a pre-existing condition. So it gets to be, wow. It gets to be a bit much when you think about that. But I hope everybody is doing well. It is crazy what's going on in this country. It is absolutely crazy. All right. All right, family. All right. So what we're going to do is talk about this thing they have called social distancing, and is it really realistic in a society that they never, ever set up like that in the first place? When you look around, everything is set up where we're kind of crowded up together, And if you look at how they build stadiums and movie theaters, restaurants, schools, universities, ballparks, everything is made where we're just side by side all the time. Now that you got everybody conditioned into things being that way, now you're asking us to sit 6 feet apart when we're out and about. So that is not the norm in America. Okay. It's never been the norm. You can just look at how many of the institutions are set up. Look at church. You all sat packed up side by side in church. And even when you look at, all kinds of things, even shopping, they got the aisles where we're very close together, even when we're passing each other. So in the whole scheme of things, how realistic is it for people to even do that? Oh, I'm so sorry about your children's uncle passing. I'm really sorry to hear about that, True Royal. It just seems like, I don't know, is what they're asking the public to do, is it realistic? Is it realistic for us to go out in society and be 6 feet apart all the time? I don't think so. You can't even go to a doctor's office and sit 6 feet apart from the person next to you, especially if it's crowded. And y'all know how crowded some of those doctor's offices can be. So, in order for them to really enforce this 6 feet apart, they need to make some adjustments out in public. And if they're not going to do that, then telling everybody social distancing, is it really realistic? I don't think so. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there are 121 people here. So I'm going to get into the article right now. Shalom to everybody coming into the chat. Shalom. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Perfect. All right. Now. All right. So social distancing. This is something that you have heard out of the Trump administration, and he has spoken about this a couple of times. But what are the rules of social distancing? Well, stay at home during CV. That is actually part of social distancing because you're not doing your normal routine, like going to the gym, getting your hair done, or visiting friends and family. So those are things that we have to kind of break out of when you're talking about social distancing. Many Americans in recent days have received emails directing them to start working remotely or announcing that schools should be canceled for weeks in light of CV. Major events are also being called off with a domino effect, including Coachella, South by Southwest, March Madness, and virtually all sporting, all of the sporting events now. Business conferences, religious services across the country, all canceled. In many cases, the action is like none that we haven't seen. But look, there are some instances where we do kind of separate ourselves from other people, and it's not unusual for us to, have a sick day off from work or school. Now, the closures are a way of enforcing social distancing. So that's what they're actually doing. So those are my neighbor's dog. So what they're doing, they're trying to force us apart by closing businesses and, the normal places, restaurants, where they're shutting out the dining area where nobody can sit in there, but you can go in there for takeout and leave. Okay, so the closures are a way to enforce social distancing, a crucial, important public health intervention that can help stop CV transmission by avoiding crowds and large gatherings such as weddings, concerts, conferences, sporting events, mass transit. Best practice require maintaining at least a 6-foot distance between yourself and others. Now, I feel sorry for anybody that planned a wedding at this time. No defense. I like weddings, but I ain't going to none, not like this, not with all this stuff going on out there, But I feel really bad because I know some people plan their weddings like a whole year in advance. And you don't see this coming, and that's really unfortunate for people that have spent a lot of money into those weddings. You may have already come in contact with an infected person, a woman who rode the bike before you at Soul Cycle, the kindly fellow who coughed while standing next to you in line at Costco, or someone you touch. You touch your mail, but your mail carrier might have touched it before you, and now you have it. At least one study estimates about 25% of transmissions of CV may have occurred in pre-systematic stages, meaning it may be spread by people who don't yet know they even have the virus. And to be honest with you, I think that is the case of what's going on in the US because so few people have been tested. So you got people that are carrying the virus and they don't know they have it because what did Trump say? Well, we're testing the ones that need to be tested. Well, I don't know. How do you measure that? Because remember, you can carry the virus without showing symptoms. Okay. With CV, many people in the United States at some point, either this year or next, will get exposed to the virus, according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Social distancing, health authorities argue, can dramatically slow the rate at which the infection is spreading, easing the burden on the healthcare system. To that end, the CDC is urging all gatherings of 50 people. So if it's 50 people or more, to stop having those gatherings for the next 8 weeks. But should social distancing affect your visits to the gym, your weekly manicure, play dates for your kids, weekend reservations? Well, to me, too bad. Those things are not necessities. I mean, none of those things that was named here were necessities. What do you do as a responsible person, socially conscious human being, owe to your fellow men and women, particularly those who are sick, especially people in your family, right? So in many instances, we can't avoid that human to human contact. You can't. There are many people in this country, and I was one of them, that care for their elderly parents. And that requires nothing but contact. Or you may have an elderly friend or parent in a nursing home. And there are people that go in and out of those nursing homes to visit folks. So I don't know how you do all of that with no contact, but okay. So Vox spoke to 6 experts in public health medicine, psychology, for answers. So Kelsey Piper makes a strong argument for choosing to stay home as much as possible, inconvenient as it may seem, to help your fellow human. If you are young and healthy, you ought to take precautions because doing so can end up saving someone's life. So considering and prioritizing the welfare of strangers is difficult, she acknowledged, but it also helps to think of them instead of someone else, a parent, a grandparent, a child. It can be an interesting experiment in compassion for people we don't know. A lot of us might be relatively healthy and think we might be able to withstand the vigors of an infection. Not this one. I sure don't feel that way. All right. So if the messages are confusing, understand that there are different levels of social distancing in effect around the world, and that local health departments' recommendations vary currently depending on known cases. So let me get down to here. All right. So if you have to go out, how can I do it in the safest way possible to protect myself as well as others? So a public health and infectious disease specialist based in Chicago and New York has spent time fighting polio in Ethiopia and helping the Ebola survivors in Sierra Leone, without contracting either disease. In order to begin to approach the ethics of social distancing. She says you must have a firm grip on how the virus is spreading. COVID 19, well, we know it's airborne. And, well, sometimes people are getting a little carried away, but we have no way of knowing. Even a professional doctor don't know. If somebody is in the vicinity coughing, it doesn't necessarily mean they got coronavirus. But hey, we can't tell the difference. It's not like we can look with our naked eye and tell a cough that's corona, CV, and one that's not. We have no way of knowing that. So they're just saying the basic stuff. It's important to practice good hygiene, like hand washing, which protects not only you, but others as well. When considering the ethics of spending time out and about, wash your hands before you go out. And then when you get back in, wash them again to protect yourself. All right. Should I feel guilty for wanting to go to the gym or on a date? Well, I don't know. Should you even be thinking about that right now? You know? Yeah, the cases have gone up in my state too, y'all. I'm looking at what some of y'all are writing. And yeah, the cases have gone up in my state. And there was another death in the state too. Okay. Let me just go down. Should I keep using grocery delivery services? I can tell you a lot of people are using them now. I use them periodically, but I notice now the wait time to have your groceries delivered, it's more extended. Sometimes I used to order and be able to get my groceries the same day. And now if I go like to ShopRite, that's the one I use probably the most frequent. Now I have to wait almost about 3-4 days before they have an available slot to deliver groceries. So more and more people, as they stay home, they are using, grocery delivery to their door for the conveniency, and and then you don't have to go out and be in a crowd at a store. So when should I completely self-quarantine? The CDC has issued recommendations for travelers arriving from dozens of countries with widespread cases to stay home for 14 days. If someone at your work or school was definitely exposed, it is also time. It says so. They're telling you, if you're going to self quarantine, do it for 14 days. But in all reality, after listening to the videos I did on people that have coronavirus, I don't think 14 days is long enough. That's just my opinion. 14 days definitely seems like it is just falling short. Not to mention the article that I did on the Colorado nurse. She had to test twice before they would even release her. And the doctor in New Jersey, he's now there, I think, like day 16, day 17, and he still can't test positive and not well enough to leave. So it makes you wonder, when they let these people go in 14 days, how well were they? And we already heard the stories of them releasing people without testing them. That is a huge problem. So is it realistic to believe that everywhere we go, we're going to be 6 feet apart? Is it realistic to believe that? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. You also got people in drive-throughs. You can go to a drive-through for the bank, but there's some things you just can't do at the drive-through window. They don't have the banking system set up where you can do everything at the drive-through window. Sometimes you got to go in there. So it's a lot to think about, but to me, it's easier said than done. The last time I was in the store, people still weren't standing that far apart up at the cash register. So I don't know. Well, don't you want to be quarantined until you're well? Or do you want to be released and sick and end up back in there again? I mean, look, I did a story on a person that went to Wuhan and they lived in Texas. They left quarantine negative, and 3 weeks later, they were positive again and they had to go back into quarantine. So, you certainly don't want that either. Yeah, you're right, Elena B. It could be the insurance that won't allow them to stay beyond 14 days. You never know. Never know. Are you serious, Dark Visitor? Lisa, the Chinese store owners by me caught it. They got corona. Wow. See, now there's another reason not to go back in their stores. Wow. Ones around me are trying to get everybody to come back. They're trying to put their 50% off of all Chinese food and all that stuff, and nobody is still going in there. But they're trying. They're trying to, drag us all back in there, but nobody's going for it. Now, in my opinion, eventually they're going to have to fold and just go out of business. They're not going to be able to keep themselves in business around here. Yeah, I don't shop in their shops either. I won't go in there, and it's not even the coronavirus. It is just that, those folks are so rude. Because we have all of that around here. We have the Asian stores. There are Arab stores and even Africans. There's some Africans around here that have stores. Wow, 78 cases of CV in Baton Rouge. Wow. Well, they said it was going to double every 6 days. They said it would double every 6 days. Yeah, I hear you. Well, we had an incident here in New Jersey just a few days ago. It was a woman that went into a hospital and they tested her, and she did test positive for the coronavirus. She was able to slip out of the hospital back onto the streets. They tried to look for her. She gave a fake name and a fake address. And the police had to literally go out on the streets. Eventually, they did catch her. They didn't catch her right away, though. It took them a while to even catch up to her. So it's no telling how many people she came in contact with before they caught her. You know? Well, when I was on the phone with my uncle, he said they were going into lockdown in his area down there in Florida as of this weekend. He's in Miami Garden. That's where he's located. And he said they're going on lockdown starting Saturday. And I told him we're already on lockdown. We have an 8 p.m. curfew in my area. You cannot be caught out on the road after 8 o'clock at night. And the National Guard is out here too. And they are dead serious. If you are caught out there, they gonna lock you up. They are not playing at all. Oh, okay. Melanated Magic TV. In my city, we have 2 to 3 new cases of COVID-19. It's a total of 9 today. Wow. Yeah, in the paper here, they actually listed the names of the people that got it in my county. And it's 11 new cases here. And they listed who these people are. And one of the persons that have it is in the neighboring town right next to me. But so far, they're not showing anybody in my town at all with it. New Orleans Saint head coach Sean Payton has tested positive for corona. Wow. I was told there were 6 cases of COVID-19 in the hospital 5 minutes away from me, but I'm not sure how they know this. Italy surpassed China today in CV deaths. Oh, wow. Over 1,000. Dark visitor. I'm not surprised. Italy is doing horrible. It seems like since they locked down, it got worse. But you know what's funny? The canals, see, they don't have streets in Italy. They have canals because everybody have boats. I've been to Venice and everybody have boats instead of cars. And since the people have not been working, the canals have cleared up. You can see right through the water. When the people were working, the water was all murky and it had an odor and it was terrible. So, you can see the pollution was clearly man-made. But as soon as man stops working and all the pollution is turned off, everything clears up. It's amazing. The fear is going to kill people. Yeah, well, Bill Gates abruptly quit Microsoft. It's got to be a lot to that. I don't believe he quit for no reason. Wow. Yeah, E.C. Dixon, I heard the same thing, that Bill Gates have the patent. Well, I tell you what, he's waiting to profit on the vaccine. That's his big thing is vaccines. Yeah, well, Bill Gates is for depopulation, but it's people like him that are losing their size and population. Yeah. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, I always I always used to believe the stock market is rigged. I really do. It's so predictable. Even if you don't know the stocks real well, if you see a really bad day in the stock market, you can always predict, okay, well, the following day it's going to be better. And it's sure enough, it bounces right back up. I don't know, True Royal, where the hell is the Pope? Last time we saw him physically was Ash Wednesday, and he wasn't looking too well. He was looking pretty damn sick that day, you know? But he doesn't even have to worry about being seen now because all church services have been canceled. So they can kind of hide him a lot more now. It's easy for them to do it. Wow. I mean, we may see anything soon at this point. Yeah, I know, and I did hear about the earthquake in Utah. They had some Mormon church, and it was on top of the church was an angel with a horn. They said after the earthquake, the horn fell out of the angel's hand. So now the angel is still on top of the church, but the horn that the angel was holding is completely gone. You know what, King Wage? A lot of people believe that. That these big I even heard a person say, I think the CEOs all quit because they went underground. And hey, that might be accurate. You know what I'm saying? That might actually be accurate. Yes, Utah earthquake was a magnitude 5.7. Well, Richard, I don't think this year has been good at all. We came into the year with all kinds of craziness happening, and it just now this, I don't know what can top this, but somehow I believe it's possible. Something else is going to come along to top even this. No, black man, you're right. The dollar is only backed by their word. How laughable is that? Yeah. Yeah, I know what he did. Big Judah was doing the apocalypse of Abraham, and he's right. All of the plagues are in there. It's been a long time since I've listened to the apocalypse of Abraham. That's really a good one. The Suede Epigrapha. And some of you, if you're listening to some of the books outside of the Bible, which I know many of you have, if you look in the Apocalypse of Abraham, it actually gives you all 10 plagues in that particular book. It's been a long time. I need to sit down and really listen to that again. It's been a long time since I listened to that. I think the first time I heard the Apocalypse of Abraham, it must have been like around 2011. Yeah, well, look, I did a video yesterday, Tan John. and there was a beach in Florida and it was crowded. So, no, everybody's not going to listen. You can best believe there's going to be a lot of people that won't listen at all, and they're going to do whatever they want. Yes, I have seen Big Judah's site. I went over there and checked it out when he announced his website at bigjudah.com. And I went over there and I took a look at it, and when I looked at it, it was probably about 2 weeks ago, and it was still like a work in progress, but it was up. Yeah, because truth, wisdom, the reason why things are getting bad is because number one, we just got past our new year, and the Gentiles actually had a 400-year anniversary of the arrival of the Mayflower, and that was on March 18 in Massachusetts. So they got past their 400-year anniversary. Did I do a video on the apocalypse of Abraham? I don't think I did, but if anybody wants to go over that, we can do it this coming Saturday, and I think this is probably a very timely, the timing of this is probably perfect because we're already seeing the disease and pestilence part of it right now. And it's not a bad idea. I mean, I can definitely do the apocalypse of Abraham, especially for those of you that never heard it before. It would be a good one. Then you can hear the orders, and yeah, we can, Elena B. Then you can hear the orders and how the plague is done. And as it hits, you can follow along in the apocalypse of Abraham. You'll be like, wait a minute, that's what we're seeing right now. That's what's happening right now, Absolutely, we can do it. All right, so I'll get it all set up. We'll do that book. Well, then, Rosalind, then you are going to have to hear it. It's definitely a good book. I can tell you that right now. Definitely. Well, y'all, everybody, just be safe, That's all we can do is keep ourselves safe. Man, I went over on Amazon. All of the vitamin C is sold out. It's a good thing I bought a bottle like the very first week of March before everybody was making a mad dash for everything. I bought that. I actually bought two bottles that have 120 pills. I bought one for myself and I bought one for my son. And now if you go over there, good luck finding the vitamin C. Good luck. These people, they are just raping every shelf they can find. It is ridiculous. It's really, I mean, you can take your vitamin C, but from what I understand at the hospital, they give you kind of a cocktail of different vitamins when you have CV in the hospital. From what I was reading on the accounts of some of the people, they give you like a cocktail mixture of all these different vitamins. Yes, I did the 12 patriarchs. We did do that. Mm-hmm. Water pistol. Make sure you charge them for using that water pistol. Charge them some money. Yeah. Uh. Yeah, I'm going to have you over there, Big Mike. Maybe if we do the apocalypse of Abraham, I'll have you come on the panel, because I did say I was going to reach out to you to come over on the Shabbat. I think this might be a really good one to do, just going over the apocalypse of Abraham. Oh, crazy. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, it's hard. It is hard. Now, the one I got, True Royal, is the Ester C, 1,000 milligrams Ester C. And I was able to get 2 bottles of that, like in the beginning of the month. See, when I got mine, it was, nobody was fighting over the vitamin C back then. So it was easy for me to get those. And I guess I'm fortunate to even have them the way things look. All right, cool. I'll set it up, and I'll send you a link. Hopefully, you'll be available on Saturday. Yeah, even better, you can get vitamin C, even more vitamin C from peppers than you can from lemons and oranges. Peppers actually have even higher concentrations of vitamin C. That's right. Ginger, turmeric, those are also good sources of vitamin C. I like putting kale and spinach in my smoothies, because you're getting vitamin C and you're getting a good deal of iron from those vegetables as well. Yeah, yeah. If you were able to get it before all of this hell has broke loose, then you're lucky, because it's like a needle in a haystack going over there trying to look for vitamin C. It is outrageous what everybody is going after. I'm like, well, damn, is there anything they don't want out here on the shelves? They want everything. It's ridiculous. No, I mean, if you go for some good peppers, and I don't know how you feel about eating them raw or adding them raw to your smoothie, you can get a lot of vitamins out, good vitamin C from peppers. You have turmeric and cayenne peppers every day. There you go. That's what you like, little lady. That's your thing. Those aren't bad things, though. No, mainstream news, I don't like the way they're reporting on CV. I really don't. They're not really giving you the good information that they should. Yeah. All right, family. I'm going to go ahead and conclude, but thank you for coming. And, I'm going to keep everybody in here in my prayers. I pray every single day that the Most High keep us all safe around his hedge of protection in the four corners of the earth. I don't want to lose any of you to coronavirus. I want to see all of you in the kingdom. That's where we should be meeting up, in the kingdom. Mhm. Oh, Brenda, no problem. I love ginger, you know? In fact, I had 2 cups of ginger tea today, and I had 1 cup of soursop tea, and I'm getting ready to go downstairs to get my 2nd cup of soursop tea. I'm actually enjoying drinking both of those on a regular basis, you know? But everybody stay safe, and again, I'm gonna keep everyone in my prayers that you all stay safe and strong and your family will stay safe and strong, because no matter what, we all need each other. Absolutely. All right, family. Shalom.